real excited about him coming and speaking to you. Looking at his professional highlights, I mean, it'll probably take me about 45 minutes, the rest of the time we have, to go over some of this stuff, all right? But Mr. Rico Rice, all right, a resident of Cincinnati, Ohio, got his undergrad at Miami University in Oxford, all right, got his master's at the University of Cincinnati, all right. He now is the owner of and speaks on behalf of Rico Rice Education Consulting. He was just at a leadership conference at UC, right? Right. Where he spoke, all right? So a man of his caliber, you know, has a few presentations a day, all right? So I'm very honored that he's here today to, you know, just kind of talk to you about leadership, ownership, responsibility, confidence, friend and colleague, Mr. Rico Rice.
I don't pay too much attention to Mr. Key. He's a silly guy. But as he mentioned, I was over at UC. One of the main things we do, and one of the main ways that me and the Varsity works together, is that I help with college planning, helping get young people into college and helping them understand the college application process. So there's something over at UC today, and I did the parent workshop there. But ironic as it may seem, I started off where you guys were. And I'm not just saying that to say I started off where you guys were. I was actually the president of the JCG of Woodville High School in 1999. So I am very familiar with some of the things you guys are going through. I think our conference like this used to be at Norwood High School. So I know the opportunities, I know the responsibility, but this is a great opportunity. It was one of the main things I put on my college application rep when I was going to college, and because of that, being in a leadership position and having some letters from my JCG advisors, it really helped me out in the college application process. So use this as an opportunity, okay? This is an opportunity for you guys to enhance yourselves and enhance your resumes, okay? But getting on leadership, I wanted to ask you guys a question. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says, who am I? All right? So I want you guys to take a couple seconds to think about who you are. And as you can see, the who is made up of different words. So who or what are my motivations? What are my values? What are my talents? What are my inspirations? Who or what are my influences, my successes, my weaknesses, my desires, my goals, my skills, and my passions? So individually, take a couple seconds and ask yourself, who are you? All right, who am I? All right, so think about that. Think about your, I'll try to hang it up. It's kind of far away, but, what are you guys' motivations, okay? Think about that. What are some of the things you guys want to accomplish in life? I just don't know how to do that.
I ain't want to invest in nothing.
Right. Yeah, so real quick, think about those things. What are your motivations? What are your values? I know Mr. Key was talking, you guys were kind of quiet, but this is going to be, I'm going to try to be interactive. So I'm going to call on you. So either in about 2 minutes, you're going to have the chance to volunteer, or you're going to have a chance to, I'm going to call you out. So it's up to you. So really take a couple seconds and think about those few questions. All right? Yes, sir? All right, I'm going to read it to you again. What are your motivations? What are your values? What are your talents, your inspirations? Who or what are some of your influences, your successes, your weaknesses, your desires, your goals, your skills, and your passions? What are some of those things for you? Hold on, give me a second. I want you guys to think about it. You guys think about it? You got something for me? You got something for me? You got to ask something.
Well,
Wait, give me another second. I want you guys to think about it for a second.
What does the H say? I'm sorry.
Oh, influences. Who are some of your influences? Who or what are your influences, your successes, or your weaknesses? All right? So you don't have to answer each one. I just want you to think about some of those. You got something for me now? Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with my man right here. Then we're going to go to you. Anybody else going to volunteer? Young lady over here, back there. You got to give me at least one, man. Just one. At least one. And then right here. So go ahead. Tell me a little bit about you, some of your...
I like my motivations usually are challenges. Just to have something that seems like everyone else is like, oh man, that's not gonna happen. You can't do that. That makes me go, man, yeah, I can. So give me a while. Let me do it. My values are just like it's almost self-explanatory. You get taught these things by your mother and father, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. My skills are academic. I'm pretty skilled academically. I'm good with computers and engineering type things. Anything that needs lots of logic. My passions is computers and things that require lots of logic.
Okay. Good. Thank you for sharing. Young lady.
My motivation is myself. I'm self-motivated. I motivate my own self to do better. My values are to be true to myself. Never sell myself short. What's the other one up there?
Any of the talents, inspirations, goals?
Oh, my goals are to graduate high school, of course. Work and become a construction manager and a psychologist. In psychology, I basically want to work with more of the teenage field, just because I can relate to how teenagers think, and you know we're misjudged nowadays a lot. And my skills are, I'm very outgoing, friendly, and I like eating food.
Okay. What did I say we're going to next? Young lady, go ahead.
Alright, same thing. I'm pretty self-motivated. My mom as well. I mean, her and my dad both, actually. They always tell me, like, to do better, not just settle for, I guess, what's expected, do more than that. A few of my values are just, I mean, what my parents have taught me, what I grew up with, just kind of like right from wrong and stuff. I mean, kind of like common sense type thing, I guess. Some goals: I want to graduate from high school with at least a 3.5 GPA, go to UC or UD for nursing, and then from there, once I get a job in a hospital, go back to school to become a doctor, because then the hospital actually pays for the rest of your schooling, so I'll do part-time working, part-time at school. Some of my influences are my mother, because, I mean, she was always somebody to work hard, to do more. She always gave us actually more than what we needed. And a few of my skills are like communication, I mean, critical thinking. I work very well with people as well as individually.
Okay, good job, good job.
Well, for motivation, it's pretty much the people that say you can. And I really value my time and my happiness. And I would like to, I guess my desire is to like share that and, you know, make other people happy also. And my goals are to be successful and be happy with
What is success?
Success is being independent, not worried about, not being paycheck to paycheck. I don't know. I just know, okay. I don't know. My influence is my mother, and she's very independent, and I want to be a lot like her.
All right, so I know I said I was going to get everybody, but for the second time you guys you might have made it off, unless you guys have something you really, really want to share. So yeah, so we're gonna stop right there. So the reason I asked you guys to talk about who am I, and we're relating that to leadership, because the first thing as a leader, you must know who you are. Before you can lead people and lead things and drive things, you have to have a great understanding and a great awareness of yourself, all right? So you guys, as leaders of JCG, need to have a great understanding of yourself. Okay, that doesn't mean that it can't change over time. Because anything that doesn't grow is dead. I mean, that's the characteristic of something living. It grows, it changes, all right? So you guys to grow, but you should always take time and reflect on yourself, all right? And when you're aware of yourself, you're able to build integrity. All right? Integrity is the next step to leadership, okay? Integrity, if you can see this chart, it's a triad. And it talks about your purpose, your principles, and your intentions, all right? The purpose is why do you exist? Your principles is what do you stand for? And your intentions is what am I up to? All right? So you want to have integrity, first with yourselves, because it all starts with yourself. And then you want to build your JCG program with integrity, all right? But these are 3 questions, or 3 things that should be at the forefront of your JCG organization. All right? Your purpose, why are you here? Mr. Wassi went over that a little bit earlier. Your principles, what are you standing for? Some of those are in the book. Individually as a group, you guys will come up with different principles, what you want to do with the school. And what are your intentions? What are you guys going to do as a JCG? So when Mr. Key or when someone at your school says, what is JCG about? They'll have some things to be able to say good about you. All right? So next, I'm going to give you a quick definition of leadership. Leadership has been described as the process of social influence which one person can motivate others to accomplish a goal. All right? So there's 3 key words in this whole thing. First, influence. All right? As a leader, you have to be able to influence the group. All right? Get them to do change, make change. All right? Second, motivate. The only way you're going to be able to influence people is if you can motivate them. All right? So when it comes to motivation, it's what makes them tick. You're going to have some people that's quiet. You're going to have some people that's loud. You're going to have some people that may or may not come to meetings. So you have to find individually what is it that they want. They want to be a part, obviously, okay? The reason why they're here is why they're a part of JCG is to be a part, all right? So you have to find their motivations. It's going to take some time from you as presidents to really get to know the constituents under you, okay? And then the last one is the common goal, all right? You guys have to have a common goal. Once again, it goes back to the intentions. What are we trying to accomplish, all right? So, a great man in leadership, one of the, I guess you would call them gurus in leadership, is John Maxwell. He has a book called The 360 Leaders. That should be next after you guys look up the Robert Rules of Order that Mr. Key talked about earlier. You want to look up John Maxwell, The 360-Degree Leader, all right? And here's 3 quotes that he has about leadership, all right? The first one is, the true meaning of leadership is influence, all right? We just talked about that. Being able to get people to do something. Being able to persuade them, not in a negative way, but to persuade them for a common goal, all right? That's number 1. Number 2, influencing others is a matter of disposition, not position, all right? And that's big. And what that says is, you guys are presidents, but just because you're a president of an organization does not mean that you're going to be able to influence. You have to have the personality, you have to have the traits, and you have to have the desire to influence people, all right? So, your position, the last one is, a position gives you a chance, which means basically that because you're a president, you've been given an opportunity to be influenced. But just not because of your position will you be able to. You have to have other skills, other personality skills, other leadership qualities, all right? So, real quick, we're going to talk about 5 characteristics of a good leader. We already talked about number 1. What was number 1? Huh? What was number 1? Well, integrity. Integrity. All right?
Write it down. Write it down.
Number 1. The first trait is integrity. Okay? The next trait. Oh, we only went over number 1. You can guess though. You can take a guess. Huh? Alright, it's something that we don't do enough of. It's listening. A great leader listens. Alright? You guys are going to be off to college next year. So you're going to be able to look up, and it's going to probably be about at least 8 to 10 communication classes where they teach you how to speak. But what's more important than being able to speak is being able to listen. Alright? And there's two reasons we listen sometimes. Either to combat or to understand. Okay? So as a leader, you want to listen to understand, all right? When you're elected, whenever someone is elected, they're elected by the people, all right? So you want to be able to, so that means the people want you to represent them. So for you to represent the people, you have to hear you have to hear what they need, what they want. And you have to listen to them, not just hear them, but listen and understand and interpret and try to make results from what they say. So number 2 is listening. Number 3, anybody have any ideas, any guesses? It's the other aspect of listening. Communication. Good job. So number 3 is a good communicator. You got to be a good communicator. Okay? That means you have to be able to express your desires, your wants to your folks. All right? Sometimes it be verbally, sometimes it may be written. Okay? But you have to be able to take your ideas, your wants, your desires, and communicate those to the folks that need them. All right? Number 4. Anybody? Just think about some people that you know that you consider leaders. What are some of their traits? Dedication. That's not here. Huh? No. Anybody else? Trustworthiness. That's part of integrity. Trustworthy. Able to build relationships. All right. You got to be able to build relationships. Remember, we just talked about a little bit earlier. We talked about that leadership is not about your position, but your disposition. So, to have a positive disposition, you have to be able to build relationships. You have to, if I don't know you, if I don't know nothing about you, I can't get you to do anything. All right? But if I know you, if I know what makes you tick, if I know what can get you there, and if we've built a relationship, then it's easier for me to do it. So the more relationships you have, Mr. Boss has a good relationship. So he can call me up, or I can call him up and say, I need your help. We've built that relationship. Now, if he just calls me up and says, Rico, can you do this? I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know him. So you have to build relationships, all right?
And part of communicating.
No, communicating. I'm communicating to you now. I don't know you. We haven't built up a relationship. Now, building up a relationship is asking you about you, okay? And so, if you say, I don't feel like doing this, then I can come back and say, you want to be a construction manager, you want to be a psychologist, these are things that can get you there. And then you might say, well, yeah, that is true. And then you might be more likely to do it because I've started to build that relationship and to get to know you, all right? So building a relationship is about getting to know each other. It's simple as what are your likes? What are some of the things you like? Where are you from? What are some of the things you don't like? I mean, so this, in a kind of way, it serves 2 purposes. It's one, it asks you to evaluate yourself for self-awareness, but it also allows me to get to know you. So you to be able to understand and be able to influence you on what I'm talking about in regards to leadership. You see how that works? It's real simple. Just ask. You guys can take this and ask your teammates. I don't care. You can take it. I can send Mr. Bossy a copy. The thing is getting you guys to where it needs to be, okay? All right. 5, respect diversity. All right? A good leader respects diversity. Okay? That means we understand that all people are created different.
Bless you.
All right? That's good. We respect that all people are created different. And with that, we understand that they may not always agree or certain things may not equal up. But we respect their way and we try to keep them a part of the group instead of alienating. All right? So it can be difference in thought. I mean, I know you think of diversity, so you think of race or maybe sexual orientation or gender, but it's deeper than that. It's diversity of thought. All right? You have to respect different ways of doing things, different processes. And also, you got to be balanced, all right? You got to, when I say balanced, that means that you got to be able to be the leader at times, and then you also, like my man said earlier, you got to be able to sit back and follow and let some other people lead, all right? So those, I know I said 5, but I really can't count. It's actually 6. Those are 6 traits of leadership that I want to take with you. How much time? You want to stop there?
Yeah, because we got to.
Okay, that's good. So, in closing, I hope you guys learned some things. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk to you. Sir.
Contact information?
Okay, yeah, I'll write it on the board. Actually, I don't have to write it on the board. But give me 1 second. As you guys go out today or whenever you get a chance, I wanted to do something with you. One of the things I learned, and I got this from one of my contractors that worked with me. She was doing a diversity presentation once. And she said that Ernest Hemingway said he could describe his life in 6 words. Alright? So, I want you guys to describe, when you get a chance to think about it, and just sum up your leadership, what you want to do, your intentions, your leadership intentions, or your leadership goals in six words, alright? Just think about it. You guys, a couple minutes, you can do it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about it right now, if you don't mind. I'm going to write my contact information up here.